Welcome to G Fun Facts Online. Imagine the deep sea. It's a world of crushing pressure, total darkness, and near-freezing temperatures. For decades, we've treated it as the planet's final dumping ground. We assumed that the millions of tons of plastic we let flow into the oceans would end up there, sitting silently in the dark for thousands of years. A slow-motion, invisible disaster. But what if the abyss isn't just a graveyard? What if something down there is fighting back? Recent discoveries are completely changing how we see the deep-sea plastic problem, revealing a hidden world of microscopic allies with a very surprising appetite. This isn't a story about a magic fix, but it is a fascinating look at how life finds a way, even in the most extreme places on Earth. Let's start with the scale of the problem. In 2019 alone, an estimated 1.7 million metric tons of plastic entered aquatic ecosystems. A huge portion of that sinks, heading for the ocean floor. Down there, the very things that make the deep sea so hostile to us also protect plastic. There's no sunlight, so plastic isn't broken down by UV radiation like it is on the surface. The freezing temperatures slow all chemical reactions to a crawl, including the metabolism of any potential microbes. And the immense pressure adds another layer of difficulty for any biological activity. Because of this, conventional plastics that we use every day, like polyethylene, polypropylene, and PET, are incredibly resilient. Studies suggested they would last for centuries, slowly breaking into smaller and smaller microplastics, but never truly going away. These tiny plastic fragments can then be eaten by everything from plankton to giant filter feeders, working their way up the food chain and carrying toxic chemicals with them. The proof of our global reach is stark and undeniable. Scientists have found plastic debris in the deepest parts of the ocean, including a plastic bag at a staggering depth of 10,898 meters in the Mariana Trench. Our trash has reached the most remote environment on the planet. This grim reality spurred a search for a better alternative, leading to the rise of so-called biodegradable plastics. In theory, these materials, like polylactic acid or PLA, are designed to be broken down by microorganisms into harmless things like water and carbon dioxide. It sounds like the perfect solution, but there's a huge catch. The word biodegradable is often misleading. Many of these plastics only break down under very specific industrial composting conditions, which require high temperatures and a special mix of microbes. When they end up in the ocean, especially the cold, dark, nutrient-poor deep sea, their degradation slows to a crawl or stops completely. Studies have confirmed that PLA, one of the most common biodegradable plastics on the market, shows virtually no degradation at all in deep-sea conditions. This created a new worry, that these eco-friendly plastics could be just as harmful as the conventional kind, fragmenting into microplastics and getting eaten by marine life, all while giving us a false sense of security. It became clear we needed a new kind of material, one specifically designed to disappear in the challenging environment of the deep ocean. And now it seems scientists have found one. In a groundbreaking study, researchers have developed a new type of biodegradable plastic that shows incredible promise. It's a lactate-based polyester, but let's just call it by its abbreviation, LAHB. This special material is created using engineered E. coli bacteria. But the real test wasn't in the lab, it was in the ocean itself. Researchers took thin films of this new LAHB plastic, along with a film of the common biodegradable plastic PLA, and submerged them 855 meters deep off the coast of Japan. The conditions were brutal, a temperature of just 3.6 degrees Celsius, high salinity, and low oxygen. They left them there for 13 months. When they retrieved the samples, the results were astonishing. The LAHB films had vanished. They had lost over 80% of their mass, and the PLA film right next to it? It showed no signs of degradation whatsoever. It was completely intact. So what happened to the LAHB? What caused this remarkable vanishing act? The answer lies with a demolition crew of deep-sea microorganisms. The researchers found that the surface of the LAHB films had been colonized by a diverse community of microbes, forming a living layer known as a biofilm. This microscopic ecosystem, this plastosphere, was teeming with life that had evolved to do one thing very, very well: eat this specific type of plastic. The key players in this microbial demolition crew belong to a class of bacteria called gamma proteobacteria, with names like Colwellia and Pseudoteradinibacter. These bacteria are the primary attackers. They produce special enzymes that act like molecular scissors. These enzymes, called depolymerases, latch onto the long polymer chains of the LAHB plastic and chop them up into smaller, more manageable pieces. But they don't work alone. This is a team effort. Once the gamma proteobacteria break the plastic down into smaller fragments, other members of the microbial community, like alpha proteobacteria and desulfobacterota, move in to finish the job. They consume these smaller molecules, and through their metabolic processes, they completely mineralize the plastic. That means they convert it all the way back into its basic, environmentally harmless components: carbon dioxide and water. It's the ultimate act of recycling. This discovery is a major breakthrough. It proves that the deep sea, which we once thought of as a plastic graveyard, is actually home to a hidden world of recyclers. And perhaps the most exciting part is that these types of plastic degrading microbes have been found in seabed sediments all over the world. This suggests that LAHB isn't just a material that works in one specific spot off the coast of Japan. It could be a viable solution for reducing plastic pollution in deep-sea environments across the entire globe. The discovery of LAHB-eating microbes is just one piece of a much larger and rapidly evolving puzzle. All over the world, scientists are finding more and more microorganisms capable of breaking down various types of plastics. For example, another recent study identified a fungus called Parengiodontium album that lives in the ocean and can break down polyethylene, which is the most common plastic we use. But there's a fascinating twist. This fungus can only degrade polyethylene after it's been exposed to UV radiation from sunlight. This suggests a potential two-step process for cleaning our oceans. Plastic first floats on the surface where sunlight weakens its structure, and then as it sinks, fungi like this can move in to finish the job. Researchers are also looking in some strange places for plastic degrading power. The gut microbiomes of insects like waxworms and mealworms contain bacteria that can digest tough plastics like polyethylene and polystyrene. While these are land-based creatures, studying their gut enzymes gives scientists crucial clues about the metabolic pathways that could be engineered or harnessed for breaking down plastics in any environment, including the deep sea. Now, as exciting as all of this is, we have to temper our optimism with a dose of reality. This is not a silver bullet that will solve our plastic crisis overnight. The degradation rate of even the most promising material, LAHB, is still relatively slow. An 80% reduction in 13 months is a fantastic scientific achievement, but we have to weigh that against the millions of tons of plastic already down there and the thousands of tons we add every single day. We also need to carefully consider the ecological impacts. Even if biodegradable plastics eventually break down, what happens during the process? Could they release microplastics or chemical additives before they fully disappear? The long-term effects of these byproducts on fragile deep-sea ecosystems are still largely unknown. There's also a behavioral risk. A focus on better biodegradable plastics could distract us from the most important and pressing solution: simply using less plastic in the first place. These materials are a way to mitigate harm from the plastic that inevitably escapes our waste systems, but they should never be seen as a license to continue our throwaway culture. The path forward requires a multi-pronged attack. First, we need to keep exploring the incredible microbial diversity of our planet. The deep sea is one of the least explored habitats on Earth, and it may hold the secrets to even more powerful plastic-degrading enzymes. Second, we need long-term studies to understand the full life cycle of these new plastics, from the moment they enter the water to their final breakdown products, to ensure they are truly safe. And third, we need to create a much clearer and more honest labeling system for biodegradable products so that consumers and governments can make genuinely informed choices. The discovery that microbes can eat plastic in the pitch-black, freezing depths of the ocean is a powerful testament to the remarkable adaptability of life. It offers a genuine glimmer of hope in the fight against a pollution problem that can often feel insurmountable. Nature, it turns out, may hold some of the keys to cleaning up the mess we've made. But these tiny microbes can't do it all. The ultimate solution to the plastic crisis will always begin with us, reducing our reliance on single-use plastics, revolutionizing our waste management systems, and redesigning our materials to work with nature, not against it. The journey to a clean ocean is long, but for the first time we know we have some very, very small but powerful allies waiting for us in the deep. Thanks for listening to Fun Facts Online.